Hello friends, welcome to my class. Now I am going to explain the properties of scalar product. So here, what are the properties and what are the uses of the properties and how can we understand the properties which are useful for the or applied for the scalar product, that we are going to see in detail. Okay, so first one, let us see when two vectors are parallel to each other, then its scalar product is what? That we are going to see. Let us consider two vectors are parallel. So when they are parallel, the angle between them is 0. Yes. So we know that the mathematical expression of the scalar product is a bar dot b bar is equals to ab cos theta. Here is equals to ab cos theta is 0. Okay. So cos 0, that is what? Cos 0 always 1. And this is AB into 1, that is AB. So that from this we can say A bar dot B bar is equals to AB. AB nothing but what? This is the product of the magnitude of the two vectors. Always gives a scalar or a magnitude. As a result, it is giving a magnitude value. Okay, so this is how we can simply understand, and that we can simply understand it's a maximum value. It's a maximum value. What is the maximum? The dot product of the two vectors, when the two vectors are parallel, then it gives a maximum value. This is how we can understand. And when two vectors are perpendicular, then its scalar product is what? Okay, so two vectors are there. Okay, so perpendicular nothing but what? 90 degrees. From this we can understand a bar dot b bar equal to ab cos 90. Yes, this is 90 degrees, theta is equals 90. So ab cos 90 is what? 0. So total 0. ab into 0, 0. So a bar dot b bar is equals to what? 0. The dot product of the two vectors, when the two vectors are perpendicular or normal to each other, it gives a minimum value or 0. So this is how we can simply understand, okay, the properties. And third property is orthogonal unit vectors. What are the orthogonal unit vectors? That we can say I cap, j cap, k caps. These three are called orthogonal unit vectors, where I cap always taken along x axis, j cap along y axis, k cap along z axis. Okay, so that we can simply understand like this: x, y and z, I cap, j cap and k caps. Okay, so in the beginning we have seen that if a scalar is multiplied by a unit vector, it can be simply converted into vector, that is a dot a cap is equals to a bar. Why should we take the orthogonal unit vectors along the x, y, z axes? Okay, so if there is a magnitude here along the x axis, y, z, if the magnitude of that along the axis, if multiplied by the unit vectors, then it can simply convert into vector. In that purpose we use orthogonal unit vectors. Okay, if we apply the orthogonal unit vectors for the scalar product, what we will get, that we are going to see. Okay, so that is, I am taking I cap dot I cap. I cap is the unit vector along x axis, and another is the I cap, that is also along x axis. Two I caps along x axis. The angle between the two I caps are equal to 0. Theta is equals to 0. Then its magnitude is 1 into 1 and then cos 0. Okay, cos 0 is 1. It gives 1. I cap dot I cap equal to 1. Similarly, we can write j cap dot j cap equal to 1, k cap dot k cap equal to 1. Okay, so this we can understand. So next, if you take the dot product of the two different unit vectors like I cap dot j cap, okay, so j cap dot k cap and k cap dot I cap. So tell me, the I cap dot j cap, nothing but the dot product of the two different unit vectors is equals to what? So this is normal to each other. If normal to each other, so angle is what? 90. If angle is 90, cos 90, here we have to apply. So cos 90 is how much? 0. The result is 0. So that it gives a 0, 0 and 0. Okay. These are the orthogonal unit vectors for the scalar product. Okay. So remaining 4 properties are there that we are going to see. Okay, the fourth property for the scalar product is components of vectors in case of product. Okay, so for that, to understand, I am taking a vector like a bar is equals to ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap. This is the a bar vector along the component of a bar vector is ax along x axis, ay along y axis, okay, az along z axis. Now b vector, that is bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap. Now I am going to multiply a vector with b vectors. What are the rules? Okay, method that we are going to see, that is a bar dot b bar. Okay, so if we product them, ax into bx, ax into bx, okay, I cap into I cap, that is I cap dot I cap is nothing but what? Unity, that is 1, so that is 1 plus, okay. If you product the, if you multiplying ax with by, okay, that is what? Ax by into I cap dot j cap. I cap dot j cap is equals to 0. So that we, okay, now we will get the value here 0. That is ax by and there is a 0. I cap dot j cap, it gives 0 value. So that this total term becomes 0. Okay, na? So we know that the dot product of the different unit vectors gives 0 value. So here if we say the dot product of the same unit vectors will get 1 value or unit. So this is ax bx plus ay by, okay. So this must be closed, and that is ay by plus, okay, az and bz, az and bz. So this is ax by is a scalar or magnitude plus ay by is a scalar or magnitude, az bz is a scalar. The sum of the all the magnitudes gives magnitude only magnitude. Yes, a bar dot b bar always gives, the dot product of the two vectors always gives magnitude or scalar value. So this is how we can simply understand. Okay, now when two vectors are given, okay, now the multiplication of the two vectors, we have to go through this process. We should not multiply the, okay, now different unit vectors. Okay, here ay should not be multiplied by bx or should not be multiplied by bz. Okay, then so here ay must be multiplied by by. Okay, what are the, this is ay j cap, by j cap. These what are the components is there along the orthogonal unit vector, that is j cap, and these two components must be multiplied, and these two components must be multiplied, and these two components must be multiplied only. Okay, so this is how we can simply understand the how the two vectors should be multiplied. Okay, So let's see the remaining properties of the scalar product, that is, so commutative property, distributive and associative. These are the properties which are used in the mathematics widely. Because why should we use these properties for the scalar product? So here commutative property is a property even the order of the vector is changed, the result does not change. For example, a bar dot b bar is equals to b bar dot a bar. Yes, so here order of a bar is initially in the beginning, and after a bar vector is final. The order has been changed. Okay, order has been changed, even though it does not change the result, because result is in the scalar quantity or magnitude only. Okay, now scalar quantity only having magnitude but not direction. The magnitude okay can be taken on left side or right side, whatever may be. There is no change. This is about the commutative property. Distributive properties means what? That is a bar dot b bar plus c bar is equals to a bar dot b bar plus a bar dot c bar. Okay, in the mathematics we know that when a number is multiplied by group of the number, okay, it does not change the products. Okay, here also a vector is multiplied by the group of the vector and the product as a result does not change. That we can simply understand. So that the scalar product can obey distributive property and commutative property. Okay, now let us see the associative property. That is what? A bar dot b bar dot c bar equal to a bar dot b bar dot c bar. Okay, so this is what? This is the associative property, and this property, the scalar product does not obey the associative property. So here we have taken three vectors. Okay, in that case, okay, the scalar product does not obey this associative property. If you take the scalar here,